Hey guys, RV Shop and Chef here, and recently at Broken Bow we were surprised to find that most all of the options for internet were dead. And so now we have to do something to upgrade our internet so we can have reliability. We've got a Poynting Antenna and we've got a Peplink Max Transit Duo modem, and our goal now is to get this Poynting Antenna on the roof and get this Max Transit modem installed somewhere where we can have power, 12 volt and or 110, and then finally get our internet solution to where it's reliable. And here are three choices on where I would. One, the half bath right here. And so this is a 4369. That means that the half bath is a midships really, and right here on the roof there's a great proximity to the electrical cabinet in the half bath for 110 and the electrical cabinet in the half bath for the 12 volt. Now number two, the front cap. Tons of people do this. They'll go ahead and put it somewhere on the roof up here, but what's wrong with that? There are 5 antennas up there. So I think number two is probably not going to be the right choice. And finally, number three, you see this big red square on the back of the coach? That is the rear bath. There's a great place to put this on the back. There's a big kind of a fiberglass dome on the back of this coach that gives more headroom. But for us, you know, you don't have an automatic electrical access and you're going to have to plumb that back. I might even have to make a hole somewhere that I can see. So we're back now to, hey, why not put it above the half bath? Here's the Poynting Antenna. So it's a pretty, straightforward. You've got this kind of shark fin setup. It's a MIMO antenna, multi-in, multi-out. And then you also have in those multi-ins and outs, you have 4 cell SIM cards. You also have 2 Wi-Fi connections, so there's antennas for all 4 of the cell SIM cards. There's 2 antennas for Wi-Fi, and then there's 1 GPS antenna. And I'm going to brag on this antenna. One of its competitors might be the Poynting 42G, kind of a mushroom antenna. I think it requires a bigger hole. This one is just a 7/8 or a 22 millimeter hole. It's pretty small. And then this gasket on the bottom of this, there is a sealing gasket that mounts it to the roof. Then you can follow up with Dicor. That gasket is brilliant. It is so sticky. And it also has places for feet if you want to go a different route. So probably going to get it into this closet right here. And then run it up to the roof for the MIMO antenna. And so here you can see there's an awful lot of wire going up into the ceiling chase, so we have an access already. We have 12 volt for sure here. And over here you also have your entire 110 closet. So that's all in this particular cabinet. But my goal is to get it up here on the wall right here. Now some people have gone up to the front. They've gone into cabinets like this one. Here you can see perhaps it could go up on the top. We have power and we have access. So I think that we're going to go with that midships bathroom and get the install done there. We worked with the guys at Techno RV, and we have a solution which is essentially a Pepwave router and a Poynting antenna. So yeah, we're going to start with the unboxing right now. Well, there's our packing slip. And so there is the first thing that you're going to get from Peplink. So that is the Pepwave Max Transit Duo Pro. Also in the box, a 12 volt cord. And finally, this is the Poynting 7-in-1 MIMO antenna. The basics on this antenna are that it allows you 2 modems that could carry as many as 4 different internet providers on it. And then you also have Wi-Fi capability and you have a GPS send. And basically what I noticed about this versus the Peplink solution, their antenna, the 42, I think it's a G, is that the hole you drill in the roof for that antenna is pretty big, good size hole. And the hole that you drill here is 22 millimeters, and so that's 7/8 of an inch, and that's a hole we can stand. Given any choice, I went with the smaller hole, given the good reputation that the Poynting Antenna has. So here's all of your antennas. So for each of the two modems, main and auxiliary, main 1, auxiliary 1, main 2, auxiliary 2, Wi-Fi antennas 1 and 2, and there's your GPS right there. Here you have your cell cards for your SIM chips, USB-C in, that's kind of cool, LAN and WAN on the back, and there's your DC power in. All right, let's go take a look at that bathroom. All right, so my goal will be get on the roof, understand where this vent is, diagonally at a 45-degree angle and 1 palm width. I'm going to be right above this hole. This should give me enough drill clearance with a long bit on it to drill through the top cap. We're on the top of the coach, and here you can see there is our mid-coach bathroom, and about a palm's width diagonally from this corner right here would put you just about under this main roof, the awning support bracket going this direction. And there's a lot of congestion up here. I think that the better choice would be somewhere between, you know, the bathroom roof vent here and the fantastic fan over here. All right, here is the center line, and we were saying roughly about 8 inches back and about 4 inches to the right. So what that does is it puts us directly on the ducted air system. So let's go back up and take a look. I'm going to take some still pictures here so we can refer to those. Well, there's a great chase right back there. So we have tons of wire access up here. And so I'm going to come in here. This lug feels tighter right here, F18, where I'm going to go. And so that is a female spade lug, or a female, you know, slip on. So just so you can see, there's what that looks like inside. I'm going to crimp that. And then here's what I'm suggesting for, that's just a spade lug right there. That's the male. And I'm literally going to put that under this block over here. So I'm going to back the screw down on the last, this one right here. And I'm just going to slip it under it and then compress the other wire with the lug. Alright folks, we're in the bathroom of the Newmar 4369. Right here we have both 110 and 12 volt power. I opted to put the modem here and install the MIMO pointing antenna on the roof. Here's where I went ahead and tapped into our fuse board. There's the lowest amperage. That's a 5 amp fuse. I'm going to have to bring that down to a 1 or 2, I think. Very feather-like wires in the harness. I cut the end off of the 12 volt cigarette adapter, and now you have this as 12 volt power and this as, you know, kind of my test line. That's 110 power. So I have both choices in the cabinet. Wi-Fi antennas installed, cellular antennas going to the roof. I didn't choose to install the GPS. Now it's fairly easy. I'll mark the fuse panel on F18 to say that this is where I'm carrying my modem or router, and then I'm going to be on the roof and we're going to get the pointing antenna installed up there. So let's go to the roof now. Everything here pretty much in order, and here's where you can see the entire setup. And so after some careful measurements, we saw that we would run into this big metal bracket that holds the Girard awnings. We have electrical going through right in the middle of the bathroom ceiling. This is where the cabinet is that has all the wiring through some access ports. And so we drilled exactly in here and then pushed wires out of the way. This hole is not a 1/4 inch thick from the fiberglass through the paneling and the wood, and then you're into insulation. Almost shocking. I'll show you the core bit, the piece that we took out. All right, so we noticed that we needed to drill 22 inches back. Here we have the lip of the inside of the Fantastic Fan, and from there 22 inches to the hole. That puts it right off the corner of this electrical. Drill your 22 millimeter hole there, and then I put the extended shaft on the pointing antenna. Now, is that the best place for it? Probably not. You know, there are a lot of places up here on the roof. You could definitely install it somewhere out in the middle in the open, but not near one of the other antennas. Others have installed it on the raised plastic bubble over the back bath. This felt easier for us because of the access to power, both powers, and kind of mid-coach access. So we'll see how much interference the large metal bracket to one side of it. Better would have been out in the middle, but I would then have to cut a hole in the headliner. Right now, the hole is in the closet. All right, that's everything we need to know right now. What I'm going to do is clean up the roof. I have already cleaned off part of the fiberglass here to make sure it was spotless with, that's an alcohol-based Windex. Then I'm going to take rubbing alcohol and clean that again. Then I'm going to peel the sticky off the bottom of the MIMO antenna, and our goal will be to stick it down. There is some curve to the roof, and so I'm going to follow up with using Dicor self-leveling sealant. Alright, here's your Max Transit Duo Pro in kind of test mode. I've got it hooked up to its own antennas here. There's 4 cellular and 2 Wi-Fi antennas. And that's because I'm just testing at home, not in the coach. And take a look there, you see some lights on the back end of the Peplink. First you see status. That green light is an indicator that you're in good status. Red is bad. Second, cellular 1 and cellular 2 are the 2 modems, and each of them has a primary and a backup. I only have 1 chip in each, and so I have on my cellular 1 there is a Verizon chip, and on cellular 2 there is a T-Mobile SIM. And so that's how I've got it set up. Right now I've also got my Molex connector plugged in for power. I have the LAN cord plugged in, and it runs over to my laptop here. And so that cord is giving me the IP access to the Peplink. Now you can also have an InControl2 Peplink Cloud access, and I have set the InControl2 account up. But this one, it's the the simple access to your router via the LAN cord. Well, look what I got. I actually called Poynting from their customer service in the US. Interestingly enough, it's in Texas. And I told them that the adapters on the Wi-Fi antennas, take a look here at this. Each of these Wi-Fi antennas, I have the little screw-on antennas on it, but the Poynting antennas on the roof, these little fittings here are the same on the antenna and the modem. They're male-male and they don't mate. In the Poynting box, there were actually 2 adapters to convert the Poynting's male fitting to female. I never saw them. I probably lost them. They may have gone into the trash, but Poynting just sent me this box to give me those 2 little tiny brass fittings, probably $3 worth of work. Let's take a look. Oh, wow, look at this. All right, this is hard to explain because the only thing they were going to send me was a baggie of 2 little brass fittings, right? And look what they have done for us. They actually sent us, this is so nice. Look at that. Poynting is a South African company. Their customer service is here in the US, in Texas, I found out. And this is a fabulous little coffee cup that they sent us, all because I probably lost those 2 adapters, and they're not bigger than a thumbnail. So, wow, look at this. There's more in here. So I'm just curious what else we got. Oh, boy, Miss Carol is going to be smitten. Look at this. Butler's, this is a coffee roaster's specialty coffee they've sent us. And so, but look what they have done for us. So there's the coffee roaster specialty coffee. There's something else in here. Oh, it's a coffee press. Good gracious. How nice of them. And what a fabulous product they have. And their customer service puts others to shame. Well, and I love the Poynting coffee mug, and let's just take a look at what's in it. There's something in there. Ha ha. Probably the brass fittings that, who knows, got lost. When you get your Pepwave Max Transit Duo Pro router, and you get ready to attach it to the Poynting MIMO 7-in-1 antenna, you're going to need these because the 2 Wi-Fi antennas don't mate without them. And so look, there they are. Likely my fault, I tell you. And on top of that, that will adapt these 2 Wi-Fi fittings. One of them I just taken off, the other one I need to take off. By the way, your Wi-Fi antennas are slightly different than your cellular antennas. This big long one here is the Wi-Fi 2 antenna. I've already got one off. And so there on the bottom, those 2 lugs are going to be male-male. These will adapt them, and that will allow your Poynting antenna to attach. And so super, super nice. There they are. Don't lose them when you buy your Poynting antenna and your Pepwave router. Thank you so much, Poynting. A1 service.